selling feels unpredictable, like you never quite know why some people say yes and some people say no, this video is for you because there is a pattern. And once you understand what makes people say a confident yes, selling stops feeling like guesswork and starts feeling like connection. I'm Rachel Roberts, business coach for language teaching professionals. Through my 6-month program designed to flourish, I help teachers and coaches build sustainable, scalable businesses without burning out or compromising their values. In the last video, we talked about why selling isn't selfish and how it can actually be one of the best things you can do for your clients. And today we're going to take a step further to look at what actually helps someone decide to say yes. And here's a hint. It's not fancy sales tactics or perfectly polished pitches. It's psychology and empathy. When someone decides to work with you, they're not making a purely logical choice. They're largely making an emotional one, then using logic to justify it. That's true whether they're signing up for a 6-month program or buying a new notebook. We all need to feel a few key things before we can commit. We need to feel safe in our decision. We need to feel seen, hopeful, and ready. And that brings us to what I call the psychology of yes. 4 conditions that shape every buying decision: safety, resonance, results, and readiness. Let's look at each one now with some real examples from my own conversations. The first thing that people always need, let's be honest, is to feel safe. They're asking themselves, often subconsciously, can I trust this person? Will I be supported? Am I making a mistake? Let me tell you about a client I spoke to earlier this year. She'd been following me for months, reading my posts and watching my videos. But when we finally spoke, she admitted that she'd been afraid that joining a business coaching program might mean that she would get pushed into aggressive marketing or manipulative techniques that she didn't feel comfortable with. But as soon as I explained that Design to Flourish is about ethical visibility and building a business that feels good to run, I could literally see her relax. Her whole tone changed. That's what safety does. It allows people to stop defending themselves long enough to actually imagine what's possible. So if selling feels hard to you, it's generally not that you need to push more. It's that you need to demonstrate more safety, which means things like giving clear explanations of what's included, showing that you understand their fears and hesitations, telling stories about some of your clients who felt similar ways. Providing that kind of safety is what opens the door to trust. Then, once people feel safe, they need to feel seen. Resonance is that moment when somebody thinks, that's me, they get it. I remember a sales call I had with a teacher who said, well, I've been really stuck because there are so many things I could do and I've no idea what I should focus on. And simply by letting her know that this is actually something that's very common amongst my clients, not least because I tend to work with clients who have more experience and who therefore can do a lot of things, that just helped her to relax and to be able to step back and see that actually there were certain things that she particularly enjoyed doing that were the best fit for her strengths, and to have the confidence to choose those, knowing that she wasn't signed into a legal contract. She could still teach other kinds of students if she wanted, but that she was going to focus on getting known for that one thing. And she realized that I was offering her a path that perfectly fitted her situation. Because people rarely buy when they feel misunderstood. You don't create resonance with people by creating clever copy. You create it by listening and by reflecting back what you hear in language that sounds like them. And that's a skill that teachers already have in abundance. So this is something that can come really naturally to you as a teacher if you let it. The next piece is results. This is about helping people see that you actually can see the path ahead and that you know what they need well enough and that you have the experience and the expertise to provide that pathway. So my clients often tell me, I joined because you made it sound doable. Not easy, because it's not easy starting a successful business, but doable. So, for example, when I talk to teachers, we often break down how they could realistically reach the consistent income that they want. This isn't about promising overnight success or multiple six figures, but about working out exactly how small focused steps can get you where you want to go. That's results-based selling. Not, look how great I am, I can wave a magic wand for you, but look, this is entirely possible and achievable for you through these steps. So you can demonstrate results through case studies or stories that show how people like them achieved the kinds of results they want to achieve, giving examples of tangible changes that were possible as a result of working with you, and describing what it actually feels like when people have completed that work with you and they're on the other side of the struggle. Because when people can see themselves succeeding, they then start to believe that it's worth investing. Finally, there's readiness, and this one is often overlooked because someone can feel completely safe, resonate with your message, believe in your results, and still not actually be ready. Maybe this is a practical thing. Maybe they're too busy at the moment, or they need to move some money around. Or maybe it's simply a question of them getting to the point where they have the confidence that this is going to work for them. And that's okay. I've had plenty of people who didn't join Design to Flourish right away, but who came back months and sometimes even years later and said, I wasn't ready then, but I always knew that this was what I wanted to do. Because when you give people space and you trust their timing, it deepens the relationship and the trust. And that's the beauty of permission-based selling. You don't have to create false urgency. You just have to stay visible and genuine and trust that the right people will know when it's the right time. So readiness is not about pushing people over the line. It's about walking alongside them until they're ready to cross it and making the invitation so that if they are ready, they can make that choice. So when you think about your own conversations with your potential clients, think about these 4 cues. Safety. Are they feeling reassured and respected, and that this is something that they can trust? Resonance. Do they feel seen and understood? You may understand your clients super well, but you need to also be able to get that across to them in what you say and in the examples that you give. Results. Do you have clear results? Do you have examples of how other people have achieved those results? And therefore, can they believe that your offer will help them specifically? And readiness. Are they in the right place, mentally and practically, to take the next step? When all 4 of these things align, you don't need to sell, you just need to invite. And if 1 or 2 of those things are not quite there yet, that's your cue to slow down, listen, and keep building trust. Understanding the psychology of yes can help to take off the pressure of selling, because we understand that it's not about persuading or pushing people into things. It's about helping them to feel safe, seen, and supported in making a decision that's right for them. And this is very much what we do within Design to Flourish. We build systems and messaging that feel human and that help the right people say yes easily, and help you trust that you don't have to chase or push anyone. In the next video, we'll talk about something that might surprise you: why your offer needs to feel safe before it can feel exciting. Because safety isn't just for clients, it's for you too. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe so you don't miss the next part of the series. And share it with another teacher or coach who's trying to find their confidence in selling. Because when we sell with understanding, everyone wins.